Okay, we are live.
Live. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Podfeet.
How do you like my red glow background?
That is pretty red. Is it hot in there?
I've been very, very bad.
Where are you?
It's actually the same light I always use, but it's diffusing better against the big white door behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Frank. Okay. Japan does not have daylight saving time, so never shifts. Okay.
Never shifts. Okay.
Well, good. Frank made it in.
We're very shifty.
That's annoying that you have to keep track of our time change.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've done a sound check. I still think that looks like I'm too hot. Hello.
Because
I'll have to just keep
the red.
Yeah.
Let me check.
I meant I have to keep track of your time too.
Oh, you are peaking at times.
You mean that when seeing the red go up?
Yeah,
I can turn this down a little bit.
You are going into the red.
Okay, how's that? Ooh, that's too.
Now I can't hear you.
That is
That's
twitchy.
sensitive. Oh wait,
Wow.
right there's no.
I
that's
moved that. I'm moving that like 3 degrees. That looks better.
No, still too hot.
Well, -6 to -3 is where we want. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
-9 to -6. I'm going a little bit hot. Okay, there's another degree.
That's good.
-6 to -3.
As
-6
long
to
as you don't
-9,
know.
I mean. Lindsay the daughter.
Lindsay,
She
welcome.
has children all over paint. Oh, hey, nobody did roll call. We've got Seamus and Kevin and Marty and Frank and Mike and Jill and Lindsay the daughter and John and Sandy and Steve. Hello, everybody.
And Lindsay isn't too far away.
Nope, she's in the next room, getting her kids all over paint. Wait,
Oh.
and Tim?
Where's Tim? Oh, Doc Tim. There.
Where's
did
Doc
he,
Tim?
Did
Oh,
he just
he's
show
in the
up?
sidebar.
No,
Hi, Doc Tim.
he's here.
Oh, no, he is. He snuck in right at the last second there. Well, that's a fun full house.
Yeah.
I've been worried we weren't going to get anybody here if the Dodgers were still playing, but luckily they won the World Series, so we didn't have to worry about it.
Go Dodgers! Actually, it's well done, Dodgers.
Why? Oh, well done. You don't have to say go.
We don't have
'cause
to
they
say
already
go
went?
until next year.
They already went?
Yeah, they went. Been there, done that.
All right.
Lindsay had to pipe in on that one.
Yay, Dodgers. You don't have a public link of that video, that slow-mo video, do you? It's such a funny video. Goes on kind of a long time.
I don't. Lindsay might. Yes, you can
Could
drop
drop
it
it
there.
here.
Is it Instagram?
Might be too big, but...
No, the link wouldn't be.
Oh, that's right.
They
It's
just-
Lindsay's. She's saying she could drop the whole video.
Oh, did you mean the video or the link?
Video might be too big.
You could. It
You could try.
depends. I think it may not accept it. Depends on how big it is. I think it's 50
Yeah.
megabytes, 100
I don't know.
megabytes.
All right, I'm going to start.
Go ahead.
Are you ready?
Yes.
you. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, and this is show number 1017. All right. I thought about making a comment about my voice, but you know what? People can tell when you got a bad voice. Oh, there's a problem. I can't. Well, I wonder if it did it. I gotta see. I'm gonna stretch the window for a second. Nope, it didn't do it.
Oh, there it is. Let's see if it plays. Open in browser.
Oh, is that what it said? All
Yeah,
right.
it looks like it won't take it too big. Yeah, if you give it to me, I could probably compress it.
All right. I'm gonna keep going here. Well, as you can tell, my voice is still a little bit gravelly, but I'm going to power through and still bring you a show. I just didn't like starting right into this without that. I'll move you over a little bit. There. All right. So we're going to start right in with face screen. Where is face screen? There we go. All right. Oh, I'm just going to have to keep, I'm sorry, this is going to keep in and growing, but every time I do a chapter mark, I have to. Oh, I should save. Has Kevin told me to
Allison,
save?
you are frozen.
Oh, nice. A spinning beach ball.
Something's going on here. Am I frozen?
This will be fun.
No. So you're, let's see, something running on your machine? Do you hear Allison at all? I hear her intermittently. Actually, I don't hear her at all right now.
That is.
Oh. Okay, your video's starting to come back, maybe? No audio. Okay, I think I might have audio.
I'm back.
Audio, yes, and some video. Yeah, your video is cleaning up now. So what was transpiring the last minute? Was there something different going on?
Yeah. Working with these small windows, I can't find anything. I can't get. There we go. There's the escape button. Okay. I was trying to restart Hindenburg because it crashed. But it recovered, so that's the good news.
Okay.
So all I was trying to do was save.
Okay. So you'll have to reapply Hindenburg to the stream.
Why?
Because it crashed and it doesn't bring it up. I can't see it now.
Oh, you mean I'm sorry. I thought you meant the audio.
To stream.
I thought you meant the audio. Okay, present. Share screen. We've had a lot of little technical glitches today. Okay.
There we go.
It's back.
Okay.
All right, and shrink it back up. All right. Well, we're finally ready to start. Here we go. Let me clear my throat one time. That didn't work. Luckily, it didn't start recording. A few weeks ago, I told you about a nifty little app called Presentify by Ram Patra. As I often do for devs when I talk about a piece of software, I dropped Ram a note telling him how much I enjoy Presentify, and I sent him a link to the review. He was delighted and asked if I wanted to code to his newest app, FaceScreen. Of course, I said yes. FaceScreen's reason for being is to present a small video window of your camera to be shown to people with whom you're sharing your screen. I had the opportunity to use it for the recent talk I did for the Silicon Valley Mac Users Group, SVMUG, about how to use Audio Hijack. While I was presenting my entire screen, the Zoom call didn't show my video to the viewers. I wanted them to be able to see me, and FaceScreen worked brilliantly to do that. The producer from SVMUG, Robert Brown, confirmed that they couldn't see my face other than FaceScreen, so it was a big help for those watching live. He went on to explain that when the recording was complete from Zoom, there was a thumbnail view of my camera in the upper right. However, he said the video wasn't very good compared to the video from FaceScreen. He covered the Zoom thumbnail with a black rectangle and kept my FaceScreen video thumbnail view instead. I think that's a pretty good endorsement. Now that I've sold you on the idea, let's learn about the application. Face Screen is a menu bar app available in the Mac App Store for the grand sum of $4.99 US. And once installed, it's a simple click to enable and disable your camera, presenting a small floating window on screen. There's no fancy keystrokes to memorize to move the window around. You simply drag it with your cursor. The power of this simple tool is all found in the settings for Face Screen. Before I go through the settings, I wanted you to know I tested them with VoiceOver, and every single thing I tested passed with flying colors. I was able to move sliders, toggle switches, and read every element in settings. Yay for accessibility. Now, the General tab gives you a few simple controls, just such as whether to start at login and which camera you'd like to use as your default. In my case, I have a big girl webcam, the Logitech 4K Pro, but I can also choose the internal webcam on my Mac laptop. Note that if you switch cameras, you have to toggle Face Screen off and back on again to have the change take effect. I explained that you can move the window around with your cursor, just click and drag it, but in general settings, you can also give it a default location of top left, bottom right, bottom left, or top right. If you're like me and you have a lot of menu bar items, you may find it hard to tell some of your icons apart, so ROM gives you a lot of options about the look of the app icon for Face Screen to help you out. While you choose your camera, in the General tab, there's another tab in settings called Camera, but that's not where you choose your camera. Anyway, lots of fun to be had in there anyway. First of all, you can change the shape of the little floating window that will be framing your lovely face. You can choose between circle, squircle, and rectangle. Now, there's one oddity to those three choices. Lower down in the camera settings, you'll see a slider for corner radius. You would think that the corner radius would only affect the squircle option, but it's grayed out for squircle. Turns out you can add a corner radius only to the rectangle option. The squircle is a quick way to get the desired shape, but if you want more control, a rectangle with a corner radius seems like the way to go. Below the three radio buttons for the shape, you can set the aspect ratio to 1:1 for square, or 3:2, 4:3, or even 16:9. Additionally, you can change to portrait or landscape orientation for the rectangular aspect ratios. There's a slider to increase the overall size of that floating window. I encourage you to set the size when you have your screen resolution set for your presentation. If you have a large, high-resolution screen, it's just plain mean to your audience to show them your screen that way. Remember, people are often viewing on iPads these days, and most of those aren't bigger than 11 inches. Before presenting, I always ask what resolution they recommend for the particular audience, the people running whatever it is you're presenting to. For my recent presentation to SVMUG, Robert Brown explained that setting my display to 1920 by 1080 would be best. Evidently, when you do a screen share, Zoom presents at 720p, which scales perfectly for 1080p. I set my screen to 1920 by 1080, and then I dragged the scroller up on size and face screen until it looked big enough to show them my face, but not so big that it was overwhelming their view of my demo. Now that you've got the size of the video window set properly, you may want to zoom in on yourself a little bit, and Face Screen has a slider for that. If you crank the size up to the max, the video fills about 2/3 of a 15-inch MacBook Pro screen. The next control is interesting, and I think I did it incorrectly when I was presenting to SVMUG. It gives you the option to mirror the camera, meaning your face will look the same as it does in a mirror. I chose that option because it looked right to me, but it turns out that makes it backwards to your viewers. Maybe it's not critical because you don't have any text showing in your video, like something written on your shirt or in the background, but it could easily be confusing for the viewers either way. I had Sandy take a look at it, and she said, "Oh no, that looked completely wrong," because she's used to seeing me in the live show, and she knows which side the pillow she made for me is on, so she could tell that it was just all wrong the way it looked. Well, if you've messed around with the settings and you'd like to get back to the defaults, there's a nice reset button. The settings window isn't quite tall enough to view everything in the camera tab, so if you scroll down, you can see some controls for the color from your camera. You can adjust saturation, contrast, brightness, and hue rotation. That last one's super weird. I was wearing a pink shirt, and when I rotated hue all the way, my shirt was purplish blue and my beige walls were pink. If you want to have more fun, you can change the color multiply setting. I'm sure this is useful if maybe the white balance is off on your camera, but I mostly made everything just look psychedelic. Good thing there's a reset for the color settings too. While you're displaying your video to your audience, you can also have text displayed under your video. You can toggle it on and off from the menu bar, and from settings on the text tab, you can edit the text shown. By default, it will say Face Screen, so you might just want to change that. You can choose the font size, the font color and background, and even the radius and padding of the background around the text. It's fun to play around with these settings because you can make the text and padding huge and put it all in a really fun font. Well, after you've had a nice play with it, you'll be happy to know there's a reset button you can start over with and create a boring but professional look. Hi. Looks like somebody's joining us in the middle of the show. Hi, Sienna. Whoops. Knocked my glasses. Oh, come on in. Do you want to say hi? That's okay. You want to say hi, Sienna? Or hi. Say hi.
Hi, Pipia.
Hi. Hello, Sienna. How are you doing tonight? Are you having fun?
I should say.
You can see
Okay.
here.
And Mommy do it every time.
Mommy do it every time. That's good.
And it's a Barbie.
And does Forbes want to say hi?
Yeah.
Okay. Put on that. You gotta come down here to talk.
Hello.
Hello, Forbes. How you doing?
Put your head over this way.
Forbes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, how are you doing?
Good. Hi, Flip.
Do you want to say hi to anybody? Say hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Say hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
That's wingman and wingwoman.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta say goodbye now.
Okay,
Bye.
say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, jeez, that was close.
Say bye-bye, Mimir.
Bye,
to go.
Mimi.
Oh, hi. Bye, Sienna. Get my glasses back on. Boy, I almost made it to the end of that.
Almost.
Let's see, what did I just last say? And create a boring but professional look. Okay. I only got 2 more paragraphs to say. All right. If you're a keyboard junkie, you'll enjoy the Key Shortcuts tab. You can create shortcuts to toggle face screen on and off, toggle the text on and off, and to increase or decrease the camera's video size. The bottom line is that I already got my $5 worth of fun on a face screen by allowing viewers of my audio hijack tutorial for SV Mug to see my little face while presenting, and I can't wait to use it again. Learn more about the fully accessible face screen at facescreenapp.com. There we go.
John wants to know if that's one of Sienna's stuffed animals on your mic there.
Actually, when Lindsay was in what grade? 4th grade? 5th grade, something like that. She was in Girl Scouts, and they did a play, and they were dressed as bears, and they had all these different things. I don't forget what this was. It might have been to be a paw over their hand, and that's what this is. I found it in a drawer when I was trying to. I needed what do you call? I did call it a muff. The dead cat, Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. That's what it was.
Yes.
Pop filter. Well, it's not really a pop filter. I guess it performs that function though. In theory.
Yeah, it also helps with wind and other things.
Yeah.
So it's
All right.
because it is pretty windy in here.
Yep. All right. That's interesting. If I can't see that, it won't let me. That's weird. I got to see the whole field. There we go. Copy link.
Don't forget your bumper.
Oh, thank you. I would have. Okay. Bring it back in here. Now the question is, do we want the bumper music dialed down or not? I'm going to put it on
Let's
the
hear it.
track above. Can you hear that?
You're
I was
stuttering.
playing back. Am I?
Yeah. Your video is halting and
Hi, Ian. That's not the question I asked, though.
I didn't hear you play anything.
At
Try it again.
facescreenapp.com. Too big of a gap. .com. There we go.
Okay.
Apple Notes.
You didn't use your
Did you get some
mute.
of that cough?
Yeah.
I did, and it unmuted. Okay,
Oh,
sorry. Mind the gap. All right, here we go. In the early days, Apple Notes were an okay way to jot down a thought, but Apple's put a lot of work into making them much more useful. Nowadays, I hear people on tech podcasts and in my nerd circles talking about how much they use and like Apple Notes. But I don't get it. I find myself constantly frustrated by Apple Notes. I'm going to wander through the interface to tell you what I think works well and what makes Notes feel like sandpaper on my eyeballs. Probably the nicest thing I could say about Apple Notes is that the data syncs flawlessly through iCloud. I can depend on anything I write in a note on my Mac to show up instantly on my iPhone and my iPad. To be fair, though, iCloud syncing with a lot of note-type apps works pretty flawlessly. Let's talk about organization. And let's scroll too far so you can't read your script. I do also like how with Apple Notes, I can pin notes to the top, allowing me to have quick access to critical ones, like the one my daughter and daughter-in-law and I collaborate on to see where we are in Grey's Anatomy so we don't do spoilers to each other. Pinning works well to not have to scroll around through my 1,058 notes or use search. They implemented folders a while back, along with smart folders, and they seem to work reasonably well. I have a smart folder for pinned and one entitled Unpin Me, and they're leftovers from a catastrophic experiment pinning notes. I don't remember how long ago it was, but I tried to pin several notes and didn't notice I had selected all notes when I hit the pin button. Unpinning them was quite a trial because I didn't want to unpin all, I just wanted to maintain the ones I had pinned. I used smart folders to help me triage my way back to where I started, and I guess I never got rid of those smart folders. You can tell I only use Apple Notes for things I don't care about by the fact that I have very few folders set up in the app. Another organization tool I don't use much is tags. I had 3 tags in the left sidebar when I started writing this up. I had one called, it's a hashtag D62772978837. I had one that says someone's name with a hash mark in front of it, and a third one that says all tags. When I was writing it up, I was very curious how those got there. I studied the user interface and tags, and I couldn't even figure out how to create a tag. There's no new tag, or assign tag, or create tag, or even a nice plus button down in the tag area. Now, I'm a big fan of the app Bear for my notes. In Bear, if anywhere in a note you type a hash mark, also known as an octothorpe, also known as a pound symbol, followed by a word, it will create what looks like a folder in the sidebar. I tried that in Apple Notes, and sure enough, that's exactly how it works here too. I guess Bear did a better job of onboarding me when I was learning it than Apple Notes. Armed with this new revelation, I selected the tag D627297837, which revealed a note containing a ticket number from an Apple repair I had done recently. Well, obviously, I didn't want this to be a tag. In a lot of apps, you can stop them from being interpreted as symbols. In a lot of apps, you can stop them from interpreting symbols, like the hash mark, by typing a backslash before the symbol. This is called escaping. In Notes, I tried to put the backslash before the hash, but it didn't stop it from being a tag. I thought I would just put a space between the hash and the number to remove its taggy behavior, but Apple Notes simply would not let me put my cursor in between. I could not edit that tag that was embedded in the note. I tried clicking and even by using the arrow keys to go back and forth, but it would not let me get between the hash and the next character. That tag was now a single entity. I put my cursor ahead of the hash and I did a forward delete to see if I could just remove the hash, but instead Apple Notes deleted the entire ticket number. And guess what else? Undo does not bring it back. I had permanently lost that ticket number. But wait, I typed it into this very blog post while I was figuring it out, so I was actually able to put it back. Now, why on earth would Notes make a deletion of a tag be undoable? I tested this later, and I was able to undo the deletion of a tag in Note, but I got to tell you, now I'm very nervous about them. I created a new tag called hash software. I thought it'd be easy to command select several software-related notes and simply drag them into my shiny new software tag. I was able to command select. I was able to simply drag them onto the tag, and when I was dragging, it even showed me how many notes I was dragging in a little red box. But when I let go, only the last selected note was added to the tag. Now that I know how tags work, it's not a terrible system, but it's dodgy enough that I probably won't use it. In contrast, I use tags all the time in Bear because they aren't so weird. And one good thing about Apple Notes is that you can collaborate with other people on a given note. But even that gives me fits. You click the little share icon, the box with the up arrow, or as some cool kids like to call it, the sharrow. At the top, it shows the title of your note, and then there's a drop-down that's defaulted to collaborate. You can change it to send a copy, but, my goal here is to collaborate. You can control who can access. It says invited people versus anyone with the link. And you can set permissions, like whether they can make changes or only view. There's also a pre-checked checkbox to allow others to invite. All right, that's pretty intuitive. But then I get stuck. I just sit there looking at it because I'm never confident of what I should do next. There's no go button at this point. I do see a row with 4 people or groups I've recently sent Apple messages to, and then I see a list of applications. Few of them look promising, like mail and messages, but the other options simply don't make any sense. Sometimes I've seen Open in News, Freeform, Xcode Simulator, and even my Paprika Recipe Manager, but that list seems to change. When I see these options, it makes me wonder what this list is even about. Along with mail and messages, there's an option that says invite with link. All right, that sounds useful. I just want to invite with link. This pops up a little window that says create link. You'd think that it would, create a link that you could copy, maybe paste into a text message or an email. Instead, you see a very plain window with an empty to field and a grayed out copy link. It says to add people. How? With what information? Probably not their Mastodon handle, but do they want an email address? Does it have to be their Apple account email address? I literally have no idea when I'm looking at it. I clicked in the to field and a plus button appeared. Tapping that opened a mini version of my contacts. In here, it's a free-for-all. You can put in email addresses or any type of any type or a phone number. I enlisted Jill from the Northwoods to test what would happen next. I decided to put in her non-Apple account email address, and then it allowed me to click the copy link button. I sent her the link over Telegram and told her when she clicked it, it said she had to verify her email address by sending her an email. She clicked the link from that email, and it took her to iCloud.com, where she had to log in with her Apple account email twice for some reason, and then she could see the note. I'm glad to know that it worked, and I do think it's kind of cool that I didn't have to have the right address for her to still be able to get in. Can't tell you how many times I try to invite someone to a Google Doc, and I use the wrong email address, and they have to request access. Actually, it happens to my friends too, because I use an address that I don't use for anything else but Google Docs. My main point is that I eventually figure out how to share a note every time I need to, but it doesn't seem intuitive for me. I'm sure if I did this all the time, I'd probably get used to it. Or is it just me, or can everybody else do this right away? They know what to do? Well, the main reason I dislike notes is how cumbersome it is to format text on iPad and iPhone. If the joy of notes is that we can write them on any of our Apple devices, then it needs to be good on all of our Apple devices. On the Mac, I can use keystrokes for bold, italics, underline. I can use keystrokes to make headings, links, and even code blocks in a monospace font. But all of these options are buried under multiple taps on the iPhone and iPad. Let's say I want to make a word bold first. Oops. Save. Am I missing anything fun? 2018 i7 Mini. Ooh. iPhone and iPad. Let's say I want to make a word bold. First, I have to tap on the AA to bring up the formatting options. This is kind of equivalent to using the drop-down menu on the Mac. I can tap the B for bold, but I can't now start typing in bold. It's waiting to see if I want to make bullets or do strikeout or add some highlighting. In order to get back to typing, I have to hit the X button. I know that extra step isn't huge, but now I type my word and I don't want the next word to be made bold. I have to tap the AA again, then tap B to unbold, and then tap the X again. That's 6 steps to make a word bold. Now you might think I'd be better off typing the word, selecting it, making it bold. That does make it 1 step shorter. That is, if I count the double tap to select as 1 step. I type the word, double tap it, tap the AA, tap the B to make it bold. Now, I can't start typing because the AA menu is still up, but I figured out a trick. I can tap to get my cursor at the end of the word, not selecting the word, all without Xing away the formatting bar. This means I can tap the B again at the end to stop using bold and then tap the X to make the formatting menu go away. Did you count those steps? I was wrong. It's still 6 steps. Maybe people who like Apple Notes never do any formatting when iOS. Maybe they go back to their Macs to make headings and checklists and such. Of my annoyances with Apple Notes, this is the one that bothers me the most. I need some water. Have I missed anything fun? Taking a breather here. Thank you, Kevin. Steve, have I missed anything fun? Looks like people are talking. What the heck?
Not too much.
I have to give you a GIF or a sticker. What's going on? There it is. Nope. Marty says nothing.
Your video is
Pay
really
no attention, huh?
really laggy.
How is Steve's video? Talk to me, Steve.
My video looks good to me,
need to
but
see
I'm
if
not the
yours-
one to assess.
My video looks good to me. Sandy says it's fine. She must be talking about Steve's. Steve's is absolutely perfect. Is it any better when I'm not recording? Like,
No, right now you're not recording, and I've seen some hiccuping.
you have seen some hiccuping.
Yeah, right now you just jumped. So I don't know it's not related to recording.
Right then, I just heard a crack in yours. I wonder, mine's off and I look fabulous. I don't know, maybe I should drag my 14-inch MacBook Pro with me when I'm down here.
Oh,
Maybe
you
it's,
on the air?
CPU? Yeah, I've been on the air the last 4 or 5 times.
Okay. Yeah, I would say.
I do have Wi-Fi on to use, because you have to have Wi-Fi on to use the camera control, but I'm not on the Wi-Fi network, if that makes any sense.
I would bring the
But it could be
MacBook
CPU
Pro.
load. I'm not going to carry both. Which is activity monitor supposed to be
Just bring
showing
the
me?
Pro. Now you're gone.
What do you mean I'm gone?
Okay, you're back.
I can see the
you
lag.
just stopped. Couldn't hear you. You were out.
Trying to
I
find
think you should
activity
do this from the
monitor
Pro.
to see. Well,
Next time.
okay, CPU is not pegged. It's at 22%. More likely network, don't you think?
Except mine isn't doing it.
Well, you aren't asking as much of your machine as I am. But
No,
it's,
I
like
am.
said,
I'm the one transmitting to StreamYard. I'm asking a lot. Now
you
you're
aren't
running
running as many
Hindenburg.
things as I am. Yeah. I'm
So
also
yeah,
sending
this
video.
gets into whether it's a CPU or a bandwidth issue, but
It's not pegged. I mean, I'm serious. It's at 15%. It's using barely any. It's using the efficiency cores. Hardly the performance cores are really low numbers.
this could be the combo of Wi-Fi and the Ethernet connection.
I'm not using Wi-Fi. I have
I
Wi-Fi
thought you said
on,
it's on.
but I'm not using Wi-Fi. I have Wi-Fi on, but I don't have. But I'm not connected to the network.
So let's turn Wi-Fi off.
Okay, then we're gonna lose my camera. Bye.
Okay, so you're asking a lot of your camera over Wi-Fi.
What is going on? Okay, did you lose my camera?
No, but by lose, what we see is a frozen video and no audio.
You have no audio from me right now.
When your video freezes, there's no audio. It's they together they both stop.
Okay. It says something here.
So an internal camera does demand less on your system than an external camera.
That's why I'm switching to the internal camera right now as a test.
Okay.
But
Good.
it's not showing anything.
Yeah.
Now I switched cameras and now it's not showing anything. So that's the internal camera, and I'm not covering it up. Oh, okay, but it's still so that's not it. I still look like poop. Wow, that is a big lag. Me watching my parents argue. So, I mean, I'm only running, I'm not really demanding that much. I'll quit Telegram. That's probably not it, but that's the only thing I can quit. I could quit Discord, but you wouldn't be able to hear me.
You're
Edge, you wouldn't
frozen.
be able
I
to
hear
see
your
me.
audio, but your video is frozen.
Well, what if I turn off video? Well, that didn't change it. Here. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Is there any problem with my voice?
Nope.
Is that better to not see me and be able to hear me clearly?
That's hard to assess.
Why is it hard to assess? Is my voice clearer than it was before when the video was stuttering?
Your voice is coming through and there's no stuttering so far. Wait, they're saying on Discord they can't hear you.
Okay, they can't hear. They're saying they can't hear me. And you can hear me now.
I can.
Are you sure you're listening on Discord?
I don't know what the audience is
How-
listening to, Discord or
Is
YouTube.
it now?
So please identify when you say you can't hear, if that's Discord or YouTube. Discord audio.
You hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, we've lost you now. You're frozen. No audio.
Let's see.
So we still don't hear you and your audio, your video's frozen. Well, it's been belly up for a little while here for us. Streams are we see the stream here, but it's just your stream that has stopped, Allison. I assume the chat room can see me and hear me okay. Is that correct? Okay, good. So I think she's rebooting or restarting, and hopefully will rejoin us shortly. I think we're going to the MacBook Pro next time. Bear with us. We have a technical arrangement to make here. Is she on? She's on Discord now? Quit StreamYard, good. Going back in. So if you're going back in, I would recommend you go in with your internal camera and not use Wi-Fi. Yes, bear with me, Ian. Okay, I hear you, Allison. Don't see you yet, but I assume you're still coming up. StreamYard spinning. I'm not sure it's the internet here because I am streaming fine as far as I can tell. I mean, the feedback from all of you is that my stream is okay. So I don't think it's the internet into Lindsay's house. I think it's either her machine or her connection to the internet with maybe Wi-Fi is stepping in when it shouldn't. Okay, can hear you. Let me add you. That's weird. There, okay. I see your video.
Okay, can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you, but it's frozen. I can hear you, but frozen video. What camera are you using? Oh, lost your audio. I'm wondering about your Ethernet connection. Al, is that all secure? Everything is plugged in and...
I think it might be StreamYard. What I've been trying to explain to you, but you can't ever understand me, is I can see this screen and I see all three of these windows start spinning so that it's not working. That's not me. These three windows spinning. I've seen it twice now.
That
So
could have to
it
do
might be
with...
StreamYard.
Okay.
So I don't know what I'm out of options.
What camera are you using?
I told you I'm using the internal camera. I unplugged the phone.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah, there. It's still showing me leaving the room. So I thought it would be better if I turned off my video.
Okay, let's do that.
But you didn't say you could
I
hear me.
couldn't tell what camera you were using at the time. Let's go with...
I turned off the video, and you said that no, you couldn't tell me whether it was better. The audio was better without the video.
It was better, yes. The audio was better.
Right.
All right. I think we're going to go with no video for Allison, but audio only.
Okay. Can you hear me? I don't see Steve. Hello? Can anybody hear me? Steve, your video is gone.
Okay, I'm back here. Al? Allison, do you hear me? Allison, do you hear me? Your machine is behaving very oddly. I think your machine is in some.
I think it's on my end.
There's something in your
Audio,
machine that
YouTube.
is
Okay.
suspicious.
Let me go back. Here.
Your audio is siloning.
I'll check the audio settings
Okay.
again.
It's like your computer is needs a reboot. I hate to say it, but it's behaving badly. You want to bail? All right. So I think we might have to finish this show offline because we're having some technical difficulties. Totally fair, yeah, because this is not pleasant. It's also quarter till. Okay. I'm going to shut the stream down. Allison, can you hear me? You okay with that, Al? Do you want me to shut the stream down? Hold on. It's me. Yes. Okay. 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 So do you hear me? So I can shut the stream off, but I can hear it. And they hear you too. All right, Al, I'm going to cut the stream. Bye, guys.